Modern royal fans, upon hearing the name Princess Charlotte, are most likely to picture the lively daughter of Prince William and Kate Middleton. However, nearly 120 years before the birth of Princess Charlotte of Wales, another European royal bore the same name, Princess Charlotte, Duchess of Valentinois, the grandmother of the current Prince of Monaco, Albert II. Unfortunately, Charlotte's life was vastly different from that of the modern princess. Her mission was to help her father's ancient family retain power over their country. Most tragically, she was married to a man who would never love her, seemingly fulfilling the old curse of the Monegasque royal family. In 1898, Charlotte was born in Constantine, French Algeria, with the full name Charlotte Louise Juliette de Monaco. She was the illegitimate daughter of Marie-Juliette Louvet, a cabaret performer, and Prince Louis of Monaco. Although her father was the heir to the Monegasque throne, Charlotte's birth seemed insignificant to the royal family, as illegitimate children were generally disregarded. After returning from Algeria, Prince Louis settled in Luzarches, north of Paris, with his beloved Marie-Juliette Louvet and their daughter Charlotte. There, they lived in a beautiful Art Nouveau villa named Villa Charlotte. At 30, Louis wished to marry Marie-Juliette Louvet officially, but his father, Prince Albert I of Monaco, firmly opposed the idea. Marie-Juliette Louvet was 3 years older than Prince Louis, had been divorced, and had 2 children from her previous marriage. Moreover, her past as a waitress and singer in Montmartre's cabarets made her far from the ideal wife for a future prince. Some royal records suggest that Prince Louis, unable to marry the woman he loved, was deeply angered and swore never to wed. Others claim that he secretly married Marie-Juliette Louvet in 1897, against his father's wishes, though no official documents have ever confirmed this. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Monegasque royal family faced a significant succession crisis. At the time, the legitimate heir to Prince Albert I of Monaco was his son, Prince Louis, who was also Charlotte's father. However, the future sovereign of Monaco had no siblings, no wife, and no legitimate heirs. As a result, the Monegasque throne was likely to pass to Louis's cousin, Wilhelm, 2nd Duke of Uriche. Wilhelm's mother was Princess Florstein of Monaco, and he was born and raised in Monte Carlo. However, through his paternal lineage, Wilhelm was also a descendant of the House of Württemberg. If Wilhelm were to inherit the throne of Monaco, the Grimaldi family's 600-year reign would be passed on to a German successor. Politically, this was unacceptable to many countries, especially France. While France had a strong relationship with the Grimaldi family, it conflicted with Germany. To prevent the throne from passing to other eligible European relatives and upset neighboring France, the Monegasque royal family decided to adopt Charlotte. On May 15, 1911, when Charlotte was 13 years old, a law was passed recognizing her as the daughter of Prince Louis, the heir to the Monegasque throne. This law was later ruled invalid, but in 1918, another law was enacted, amending the statutes to allow adopted children to have succession rights. On May 16, 1919, in the presence of French President Raymond Poincaré, Prince Louis officially adopted Charlotte in Paris, granting her the right to use the Grimaldi surname of the Monegasque royal family. At the same time, her grandfather Prince Albert I bestowed upon her the traditional title of the principality's heir, Duchess of Valentinois. This effectively eliminated the Uriche family's chances of ruling Monaco, much to the frustration of Wilhelm of Uriche. In 1922, Prince Albert I passed away, and Charlotte's father ascended the throne as Prince Louis II. A month later, Charlotte was officially declared hereditary Princess of Monaco, securing full succession rights for her future descendants. Prince Louis, not wanting to face a second succession crisis, was eager for his daughter to marry before he ascended the throne. He arranged for Charlotte to marry the French nobleman Count Pierre de Polignac to mask her mother's humble origins. Pierre, who was of a similar age to Charlotte and had a passion for the arts, seemed like the ideal match for the young princess. Additionally, Pierre was well educated, and when he married Charlotte in March 1920, all signs pointed to him becoming an exemplary husband. According to Prince Louis II's decree, Count Pierre de Polignac adopted the surname Grimaldi after their marriage, becoming a Prince of Monaco and acquiring the title of Duke of Valentinois. Within 3 years, he and Charlotte had 2 children, Princess Antoinette Louise Albert Suzanne in December 1920, and Prince Rainier in May 1923. With the birth of these 2 children, Charlotte had fulfilled her mission of producing heirs to the throne. The imminent succession crisis was resolved, but Charlotte and Pierre's marriage soon encountered serious trouble when she discovered that her husband was gay. Since their marriage had been arranged, this meant Pierre was unlikely to have disclosed his homosexuality before marrying Charlotte. Moreover, at the time, homosexuality was still highly taboo, which led Pierre to go to great lengths to conceal his sexual orientation. On March 20, 1930, due to Pierre's homosexuality, Charlotte separated from her husband and began living with her lover Dalmazo. On February 18, 1933, the couple officially divorced according to a decree from Prince Louis II. It is said that Charlotte's father knew the true reason behind the failure of the marriage. At the time, a magazine reported, "The end of this union prompted the hot-tempered father-in-law to swear that if Prince Pierre ever set foot in the principality again, he would call upon the Monegasque army." Pierre's exile order was soon lifted, and after the divorce, he received an annual alimony payment. Princess Charlotte was a strong-willed woman who had no interest in politics and did not wish to live in Monaco. On May 30, 1944, the day before Prince Rainier's 21st birthday, she renounced her rights to the Monegasque throne and transferred them to her son. She believed that the people of Monaco would not accept a leader who had been divorced and whose parents had not been married at the time of her birth. However, her abdication came with the condition that Rainier must not predecease her. In 1949, Charlotte witnessed her son's ascension to the throne as Prince Rainier III of Monaco. Afterward, she moved to Château de Marchais, the Grimaldi estate on the outskirts of Paris, where she lived surrounded by her many dogs. Although she was no longer a Monegasque heir, she retained the title of princess. Later, Charlotte pursued higher education and became a qualified social worker. She became well known for her prison visits, advocating for justice and rehabilitation. She even transformed her estate into a rehabilitation center for former convicts. In recognition of her efforts to help ex-prisoners reintegrate into society, France awarded her a medal. At one point, she lived with the notorious jewel thief René Larcan, who also worked as her driver, despite having a revoked license. In 1956, she attended her son's wedding to Hollywood actress Grace Kelly, with René Larcan driving her while on parole. When her shocked son questioned this, she reportedly replied, "After spending so many years in the shadows, I thought a little sunlight would do him good." At the time, the infamous jewel thief lived just a few steps away from the fiercely independent princess. Incidentally, in a later interview, Prince Rainier III reflected that Charlotte had always felt more like a friend than a mother to him. Princess Charlotte passed away in Paris in 1977. The Monegasque royal family later honored her memory through Rainier's granddaughter, Charlotte Casiraghi, who was named after her great-grandmother.